Okay, hello everybody. Hopefully you can hear me. Thank you for logging in. As you probably heard, this session will be recorded. So if you haven't had the time yet, feel free to mute yourself, turn off your video. At the end of the session, sorry, mine went blank. At the end, we will go ahead and answer any questions that you guys may have. But I will be sending you the recording. I'll be sending you a copy of these slides. I will send you application guide. So just sit tight, jot down any questions you have, but please keep them towards the end, and then we'll spend the time answering all those questions. My name is Karen Padine. I am the program specialist for the MSIS program. And then I'll pass it over to our program director. I will let him introduce himself, and then we'll go from there.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us today, and good evening or good morning, depending on where you are. So, as Karen mentioned, my name is Mohammed Abdelhamid. I'm the director of the MSIS, and I'll take care of the first half of the presentation, talking about the academic side, to be exact. So we can move on to the next slide. So at the beginning, I'll talk about trends in the industry in general, job market, then I'll talk about us, CSULB, and our program structure, and then I'll hand it over to Karen to talk about the application process. So to start, as you know, or since you're here, you're all interested in a tech degree, graduate tech degree. Then it means you're familiar with what happened in the past decade or so. So tech companies, tech giants have been leading the board in terms of top companies, in terms of market cap or profit. And so if you look at the PwC report on the right, for example, since 2012, it's been Apple that has the highest market cap, and then the top 10 are mainly tech giants: Apple, Alphabet, or Google, Meta, or Facebook, Amazon, Microsoft, etc. If you go 20 years ago, 15 years ago, 30 years ago, it was a different story. It was mainly oil and gas companies, like you'll see on the left side, starting to 2011 and backwards. Oil and gas companies like ExxonMobil, PetroChina, Shell. These were the companies that were leading the board. So in summary, nowadays, technology is the new oil and gas. So moving on to look at even during the pandemic, 2020, when most industries suffered, even mainstream industries like energy in row 7 or financial services in row 9, they both underperformed. You'll see that technology in row 6 actually did outperform, and that's because many companies went to tech solutions to be able to operate. People work from home. And even at the individual level, people wanted to still, seek entertainment at home because they were locked down, and technology was there to help them through it. So moving on, so many industries have become tech industries. Traditionally, non-tech industries like transportation or newspaper or TV, entertainment, delivery, all of these were traditionally non-tech industries. But the revolution or the evolution of technology and digital transformation allowed or pushed those industries to become tech industries, like, for example, transportation, now Uber, Lyft. If you look at hospitality, Airbnb, etc. If you look at entertainment, Netflix, etc. So there's a famous quote of the CEO of Uber who says, if you don't disrupt yourself, someone else will. If you don't change, if you don't move toward the digital transformation, a new company will come and take you out of business. And this is what's been happening in the past decade or so. This is good news for us because it provides us with more opportunities job-wise, more job prospects, because all the industries are becoming, tech industries pretty much. So this is ironic because Uber itself will need to start disrupting themselves. So you may have heard that Tesla is working on an app. They call it Robotaxi on the next slide. So they call it Robotaxi, and this is basically Tesla's version of Uber, but it does not require a driver. So it's using the full self-driving capability. Anyone who owns a Tesla and has the FSD can sign up for it, and the car can go, and deliver people from point A to B, etc. And again, even tech companies are still in the process of disrupting themselves because, things change rapidly. So as I mentioned, this is good for us because it provides us with more job opportunities. So in the next slide, we mentioned some of the so of course, because of technological advancement, we're able to handle data and systems that manage, millions and millions of users. And with that comes a lot of opportunities. And industries, as we mentioned, have become tech industries, industries like newspaper, TV, hospitality, food delivery, etc. Which means there are a lot of job potentials, job prospects in all of these industries. So in the next slide, we show some of the job, career path that are possible for our MSIS graduates, and we've seen placements in these categories: data analytics, cybersecurity analytics, business analysts, system analyst, cybersecurity consultant, database architect. All of these are possible career path for our graduate. And as we just saw, they're open for all industries. You could be a data analyst for a tech giant, but you could also be a data analyst for, an entertainment company or a hospitality company, because technology has affected all of them equally. So if you Google up top jobs on the next couple of slides, if you look at top jobs in the US, since we are in the US, look at Glassdoor or Forbes, and look at in general, top jobs, you'll see that the best prospects are mainly tech-related jobs. So those are jobs that have many openings and have high median salary. So developer, data scientist, product manager, enterprise architect, information system engineer, all of these are tech-related jobs. The same story if you look at Forbes top jobs, similar trend on the next slide. And we can move forward as well. Yeah, so now we know the importance of getting a graduate degree in this industry, because now we're at the best time to seek, technology-related career, best job prospects, etc. Why do a graduate degree here at CSULB? There are several reasons that I will break them down, that I'll break down in the next few slides. So first, we're in a strategic location. We're on the border of Orange County and LA County. And many major companies have main offices around these areas. And as you know, California in general is a tech hub. So that means that there are plenty of career fairs, job opportunities, connection opportunities that you can literally walk into in many cases, or drive to. Compare this to, let's say, a degree in a campus that is in a campus town in the middle of nowhere. These opportunities become less and less. Another reason is our faculty who have teaching passion, and a lot of them have worked in the industry for tech giants like Microsoft, for example. And with that, they bring a lot of connections and help people who are able to help and advise and mentor and refer our current students. Then next, in addition, also our College of Business is accredited and ranked by many ranking systems. For example, we're accredited by AACSB, which is the most elite accreditation any school could have, any business school could have. There are only 5% in the world that are accredited by AACSB, and we are one of those. And then next set of, also we're accredited by, we're ranked highly in terms of social mobility. So we're ranked number 3 nationally. And then our master level also degrees are ranked highly. And then the next set of reasons relate to the program structure. So of course, we're dedicated to student success. With that, we did revamping of the entire course curriculum in the past year, affecting majority of the courses, introduced many new courses, specifically in the area of analytics, data science, and cybersecurity. We also wanted to include state-of-the-art tools and languages. So we picked the best in each category. For example, in data analytics, we know Python is the best or one of the best, but we wanted to be consistent across all the courses. So all analytical courses utilize Python. You'll do Python in many different courses. Again, compare this to most other universities where the professor pick the software they're more comfortable with, so you learn a little bit of everything, but you're not good at one thing. Again, the same level, we look at cloud computing. We know it's important nowadays. So the market leader is Amazon or AWS. So we include AWS in various courses, 3 or 4 different courses throughout the semester, also for consistency. Tableau is another example, SQL, etc. We also keep our classes small, so relatively small, 35, 40, 45, in that range. Many other universities have a cohort size of 120, 150, and the experience is very different when you are 1 in 150 versus 1 in a 40 or 45 class. You get to know more your professors, your colleagues, you get one-on-one mentorship, help, etc. We also schedule our classes during the evenings on weekdays, and sometimes we may have a class on Saturday. And this allows working professionals, people who work full-time or maybe have an internship or an on-campus job or a research assistantship or a teaching assistantship, to handle both equally. Now, for international students, we're also STEM designated. That means you can work on an OPT visa until you find sponsors, so you don't need to have a sponsor right away. So, and then next, if we go to the next slide, this is a sample of our schedule. So it's a cohort base, as we mentioned. It's a 2-year program. You take 10 courses. So fall, spring, fall, spring. And as you can see, there's a lot of emphasis on data analytics. For example, business data analysis, programming for business analytics, machine learning for business analytics, deep learning. And then we have other courses like the cybersecurity. AWS is embedded within 602, which is heavy AWS, and then in the database, and then in 635, etc. So we keep our curriculum current and focused on the major trend in the industry. So that's pretty much it for my part. Now I'll hand it over to Karen, who will talk to you about the application process. Then we can answer questions.
Thanks, Mohammed. Okay, let's get right into it. So in regards to the application process, you are going to need a 4-year bachelor's degree in order to apply. I guess I get asked all the time. I only have a 3 years bachelor's degree. am I still eligible? And the answer is, it depends. What we can do is that we can go ahead and send you a link where you can go ahead and submit some documentations, and they can go ahead and let you know if it's going to be acceptable or not. If you have a 3-year bachelor's degree and you have 1-year post-bachelor degree, we can combine that too, to be equivalent to 4 years, but in general, equivalent to 4 years in order to apply. I get asked all the time, is the GMAT or the GRE waived for the fall 2023 term? And yay, congratulations, it is waived. So you don't have to worry about it. So celebrate in regards to that. When it comes to the rest of the application, you will be required to submit a updated resume. You will be required to submit a video statement of purpose, also referred to as a video recording. This is like our version of the interview process, I guess you can say. We have a short essay question and 2 letters of recommendation, which I'll go over each one of those components in the upcoming slides. So when it comes to the actual application itself, it's done 100% online via CalState Apply. The application window for fall 2023 is actually open right now. It opened up October 1st, and then the deadline for international applicants is going to be March 15th, 2023. And then we're going to have a June 1st deadline for domestic applicants. The application itself is going to be 4 different quadrants or 4 different main sections you need to fill out, and I'll walk you through each one of those in the upcoming slides. Again, like I said in the beginning, we do have an application guide that I can go ahead and send you, which will break down the entire step by step, make it really easy for you. That was our goal with the application guide. And then when it comes to the application fee, there is a $70 application fee. We do not offer a fee waiver. I get asked that a lot too. So I know at the undergraduate level do, but unfortunately at the graduate level, no fee waiver. And when it comes to transcripts and official test scores, like English proficiency exam, things like that, that's all going to be sent directly to Enrollment Services. Me and Mohammed, we do not collect those directly. So there is a whole other department that you will go ahead and submit all that to once you officially submit your CalState Apply application. And again, we'll go more into that in the upcoming slides. When it comes to eligibility requirements, I get asked too, what is the minimum requirement in order to apply? And I know there's sometimes some confusions because individuals see that the university minimum is going to be a 2.5. However, within the College of Business, our minimum score is going to be a little higher than that. So it's going to be a 2.75. That's the minimum in order to apply. However, just because you meet the minimum doesn't always mean you're going to be admitted into the program. As I'll explain in the upcoming slides, we definitely do review I want to say a holistic approach. We don't just look at GPA or a test score. We do take many different things into consideration, but just so you know, the minimum is going to be a 2.75. When it comes to English proficiency exam, we do accept a number of different exams within the last couple of years. For example, Duolingo has been recently added. We have the TOEFL, the traditional ones. And then I provided a link here. So when I do send you the PDF version or the copies of the slides, you can go ahead and click on that and you can get additional information in regards to English proficiency, or if you're able to see if, the country you're from is waived from the exam. So went ahead and provided that link there for you. Now let's go straight into the application itself. So like I said, you're going to apply online via CalState Apply. You're going to go ahead and select that you are applying as a graduate student, and you want to make sure you are selecting fall 2023. This is important because we are also in the process of there's a cross between spring and fall applications right now. So you just want to make sure you're selecting fall 2023 and not spring. And again, I would say you're applying as a graduate student and you're going to create your portal. So you're going to use an email address, create your password, whatever email address you use. You want to make sure it's the email address that you're checking on the regular, because if we have any questions in regards to your application, or we need you to submit additional documentation, or we need to verify anything, you want to make sure, again, it's the email address you're using or checking on the regular, because that's the one that we're going to reach out to, whatever you use for CalState Apply. Within the application, like I said before, there's 4 different quadrants you're going to complete. Your application will be complete once you get those 4 green circles like you see here on the right hand side. So we're going to go straight into the different sections now. So the first one is going to be personal information. And this is very straightforward. Pretty much what you see here on the left-hand side of the screen is how you want your application to look. You want check marks all the way down. You want to make sure you fill out every single question, and there's not really any questions or anything you want to skip in the first section. So just, personal contact information, demographic information, things like that. And then you'll get your green circle and move on to the second one, which is going to be academic history. So for colleges attended, here you just want to go ahead and list any colleges you attended in the past. So any community colleges where you got for your bachelor's degree, if you've done any like post-bachelor programs, you want to list it there. Below it, it's going to be GPA entries. Here, just go ahead and give us your best guess of what you believe your GPA is. If you're not 100% sure what it is, it's totally fine. Regardless, Enrollment Services is going to review your transcripts and update your GPA. They're going to update the GPA section for us, but go ahead and give us your best guess what you believe it is. For standardized tests, this is where it's going to ask you if you are sitting for the GMAT or GRE. You just want to go ahead and check off and waived pretty much, or I'm not submitting any scores, but I'm pretty sure you can select it's been waived or something like that. Again, we are not requiring either one of those exams. I also believe in this section, they may ask about the English proficiency exam scores. If you have your scores, great, go ahead and input it. You don't have to upload any documentation or anything into this section. If you haven't sat for the exam yet, and you think your exam is going to be within like the next 2 months, totally fine. Go ahead and still submit your application. Just go ahead and give us your best guess of the score you're hoping to get. I wouldn't hold off submitting my application just because you haven't taken your exam yet. One thing to note with, excuse me, within colleges attended, is you don't have to upload any transcripts or anything here. Again, just type out the schools you attended, but you don't have to upload any transcripts or anything in this section. The third quadrant is very straightforward. There's only going to be one section, which is going to be experiences. And you can check off, I'm not submitting any information, or I'm not submitting any information in regards to experiences. This quadrant is really more focused towards the undergraduate students. So as a graduate student, you could 100% skip this section and move on to the fourth and final quadrant, which is the most important one. This is going to be like the main portion that me and Mohammed will be reviewing when it comes to deciding if you're admitted into the program or not. So 3 sections you want to focus on: questions, documents, and recommendations. And I'll walk you through the first one, which is going to be questions. So as I said before, you are required to submit a video recording of yourself and a short essay question. For the video recording, this is again our version of the interview process, and you really want to situate yourself like that. So you want to make sure, you're dressed presentable, we can hear you clearly, there's not a lot of clutter in the background. The video recording should be anywhere between 3 to 5 minutes, really nothing more than that. And you're going to answer the following question: what are your career goals in the next 3 to 5 years? And what in your imagination would be your long-term dream job? This is also a great opportunity to introduce yourself. I guess you can say the committee know a little bit about yourself, a little bit about your background, and then go straight into answering the question. You can use YouTube, you can use Google Drive, regardless of what you use. You just want to make sure that the link is set to public. If it's set to private, we're not able to view the recording. So when you copy and paste the video link, again, just make sure it's set to public. When it comes to short essay question, you are going to answer the following question: describe a time when you dealt with someone who was difficult. How did you handle that situation? What would you do differently if you can do it over again? Within the application, there's going to be a text box, and within that text box, you're going to go ahead and type out your response. And there is going to be a character limit of 1,500. So not word limit, but character limit. So with that character limit, it should be anywhere between 1 to 2 like small paragraph, nothing super lengthy. And again, you're just going to go ahead and type out your response in the text box, and that's it for the questions section. Next, we're going to move on to documents. So within this section, you will go ahead and just upload your resume. Pretty pretty much it, straightforward, just your resume. You don't need to upload any certificates or anything like that. And then something new that Enrollment Services is doing this year or this time around, starting this fall 2023, is that they're going to give the option for applicants to upload unofficial transcripts. You will still be required to submit official transcripts, however, but just to at least help out in the initial review process, to hopefully like speed up the process while they're waiting for your official transcripts to come in, you do have the option within the fourth quadrant to upload copies of your unofficial transcript. So that option is going to be there, and you're going to do that within the fourth quadrant. And then the last and final section could be letters of recommendation. So I highly recommend that you ask somebody who you have a professional relationship with. It can be a current employer, previous employer, current manager, previous manager, supervisor, anyone like that. So you're gonna need 2 recommenders, and we get asked all the time, what should my recommender include in the letter? And here we have some bullet points for you. You can go ahead and copy and paste these, send this to your recommender. When you do ask them to to recommend you to the program, you can ask them you can give them as a courtesy these bullet points to help them type out the letter. So they want to go ahead and provide a short summary of their history with you. So either they're your supervisor, manager, faculty. Have them give us a list of characteristics they believe will help you that you possess or have that's going to help you excel in the graduate program. And then they could provide us with examples or examples of projects or anything that you brought to the workplace or the classroom. And then they can end it with a strong closing statement endorsing you to the program. So within our system, what you're going to do within the quadrant 4, the recommendation section, is you're just going to type out your recommender's first name, last name, email address, and then our system is going to automatically send them a link. And then that's where they'll go ahead and type out their letter, and they can upload it to that link. So there's no need for you to go ask them to send you the letter or have them send me directly the letter. All they have to do is upload it directly to the link, and it's good to go. It helps make it a lot less painful for everybody involved. And at that point, your application is complete. So you're gonna get your 4 green circles. You can go ahead and pay the application fee. Again, it's gonna be $70, and we do not offer a fee waiver. And once your application is complete, pay the fee, it's going to get sent over to Enrollment Services, who is then going to, within a week after you submit your application, send you an email confirming they received your application. They're going to issue you your Cal State Long Beach student ID number. They're going to provide you with a link to the application portal so you can kind of keep track of your application as they review it. And they might provide some other information in regards to how to submit your official transcripts. So you want to wait to submit your official transcript until you received your Cal State Long Beach student ID number. So once you get that student ID number, then you could go ahead and submit your transcripts. If you're a Cal State Long Beach student, you don't have to worry about submitting any transcripts. We could just download it for you. But anybody else, you will need to submit official transcripts. You can send it electronically for our domestic applicants. You can ask your school to email it over to this email address, or you can mail in official one. Make sure it's sealed, and make sure you also include your student ID number, because that will help the processing to go a lot faster. Same thing for international applicants as well. You want to make sure you do not request your official transcripts until you get your student ID number. Then go ahead and begin that process. International students do now also have the option to email in official transcripts too, and that is going to be the email address you can use there, right there on the screen. Also, if you have any questions about the international admission process, different requirements when it comes to I-20 visa, any questions like that, you can use that email address as well. When it comes to mailing in any like physical transcripts or mark sheets or anything like that, this is a mailing address that you want to use, and make sure again to include your student ID number to help make the processing a lot faster. This slide right here is going to be mostly pertaining or 100% pertaining to our current Cal State Long Beach students. So current Cal State Long Beach students within the College of Business have the opportunity to, I guess you can say, bypass or have like a fast pass through the application process. In order to take advantage of this opportunity, you do need to meet certain GPA criteria that are listed on the screen. And if you are approved for the fast track application, you have the opportunity of waiving the GMAT. You don't have to do the video recording, letters of recommendation, or the short essay question. So any additional questions about that, the application process, qualifications for, again, current Cal State Long Beach students within the College of Business, feel free to email us at the email address on the screen, and I can give you more information about that. Now, some frequently asked questions. A lot of these are already answered. So is the program STEM designated? Yes. Do you have to have work experience within IS or IT in order to apply? The answer is no. However, we do strongly encourage you to show that you are like motivated or excited, or, you know, making your efforts when it comes to getting into the industry or learning different topics within the industry. So there's some examples there. You can do like some, I don't know, workshops, certificates, just basic knowledge to give you like at least a good foundation in the beginning. You know, we do look for that when it comes to the application process, but no, you don't have to have an IS or IT bachelor's degree in order to apply or be successful in the program. And then once I send you this PDF, you can go ahead and click on the link and you can watch a webinar and hear about the student's experience in the program. And then a big question we get asked is, what's the cost of the program? So we are a self-support program, which means that our program is not required to pay the same fees as other graduate programs who are supported or considered stateside programs. So with that, regardless if you're an international student or a domestic student, you're going to be paying the same fee. The total cost for the entire program is going to be $31,500, and we do run on semester system. So it's not like you're going to pay that fee up front. We are semester, so every 16 weeks is a different semester. So you will pay semester fees throughout the program, and that fee does include parking, books, and materials. So it's all encompassed within that fee. Okay, and that is it. At this point, we're going to go ahead and open it up for questions. You can ask your questions in the chat box. Before I go ahead and start asking or answering any questions, I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording, so that's not part of it.